Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the R Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. I am back with another prophetic message that I received actually a few days ago. I tried to upload it, but YouTube was not allowing me to upload it. I don't know if it's because maybe the words I used in there, I don't know. Anyway, so for whatever reason, they weren't allowing me to upload it. So I waited like a couple of days to see if it would, and it wouldn't. So anyway, I'm just recording it again so that way you guys can get the message. Anyway, so I just want to say that if this message is not resonating with you, it could be a message that maybe you're being divinely guided to listen to, because it could be happening to someone else that is around you. Keep in mind that if these energies aren't happening exactly at this moment, does not necessarily mean that it could not happen in the possible near future. And not only that, but it could be happening a couple of weeks from now. Take it how it resonate. I usually kind of see the message like ahead of time, or either experience the situation ahead of time, and then sometimes usually the collective kind of goes through it after the fact of me already experiencing whatever situation, if the message is applying to me, because sometimes I never know what it's applying until it unfolds. And that's the only thing about giving these prophetic messages, unless God specifically shows me that this message is for me, and whatever the case may be. So anyway, keep in mind that if it's not happening to you, it could be happening to a boss, a cousin, a sister, cousin, brother, neighbor, brother, spouse. Take it how it resonates. Anyway, so with all that being said, let's get into the message, okay? Oh, yeah, and it all just depends on whether your location on the planet, whether you're northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. That plays a factor, too, when the energy will possibly reach you. Anyway, so the first message I received was, I'm going to cut straight to the point and not... Anyway. So the first message that I received was... It came in a form of if it was myself and my kids, and we were like in this, my daughter and my son, my youngest son, not my oldest son, or whatever case may be. But anyway, so the setting came as if we were like in this apartment building. And I told the kids, I said, come on, kids, let's go so we can go get where we need to go before the crowd gets there. So anyway, as we were leaving to go downstairs, because it was like a high-rise building, as we was leaving to go downstairs to the lobby area, I noticed our lobby area was just a little, it wasn't crowded, but I can just tell the traffic flow was a little bit more than usual. So anyway, with all that being said, I had noticed that there was like a bat flying, right? And I'm not sure if I take it that maybe I was the only one that was able to see this bat, and it could have been a situation that this bat was a spiritual type energy is what I'm receiving right now. So I say all that to say it may not be an actual bat that is in person, but it could be an actual person as well too. So thank you, Spirit. It could be a person. Thank you, Spirit. It could be a person. It could be the news media outlet. It could be someone who's close to you. It could be someone who, nevertheless, somebody who you're having a conversation with. So it came in a form as if me and my kids were walking, and then there was this bat that was flying. Well, it was kind of like it was maneuvering throughout the crowd, but then all of a sudden it's like it turned around and came back, and it was as if it was targeting me, right? So it didn't go towards my kids because we were walking together, but it went towards me. So, and as it came towards me, I had this black spoon in my hand, like a plastic, cooking spoon or whatever, and I had it in my hand for some particular reason, and the bat was coming, and for some particular reason I was on guard and I realized it was coming. So in the part where you scoop stuff out in the spoon, I basically cuffed the bat in there as it was coming. So I was basically kind of like allowing the bat to go right there into the spoon, should I say. And then I basically I can't remember if I took it out of the part of the spoon and took it and strangled it and took it through it, and it like hit the wall and fell down and died. I could just see it like, dying or whatever the case may be. But anyway, so with all that being said, either I had basically strangled it, or I took the spoon, as it came in here, and I hit it towards the wall real quick. Well, not towards the wall, but hit it towards like this counter that was nearby, and it hit the counter and fell. So it did either one of the two. I can't particularly remember. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank with that part, but it did either or is what Spirit was just kind of telling me. So anyway, with all that being said, so basically that bat was a representation of, because what Spirit was giving me was like the bat was white. First of all, most bats are normally black. And if you know about the yin and the yang, the white, we would think that the white represents light, right? And it does, but white also in the yin and the yang actually represents duality, should I say. more like darkness. So it's like they're the opposite. And then the darkness actually represents the light, should I say. So anyway, with all that being said, but because that bat was flying and it came towards me, it was just letting me know that it was trying to target me in some sort of way. So, and the message was, excuse me, all, because I always have trying to eat breakfast after I do this and it starts digesting. Anyway, so the bat was trying to target me in some sort of way, but because the bat was up here, was letting me know, you know how they used to say that if you let a birdie plant a nest in your ear, you know, well, if the birdie flying around you, and if you, it's up to you to, if you allow that bird to plant a nest in your ear. It's a matter of, that's what that bat was a representation of, because again, the bat was white, and the way it came at me was like, it was almost like a demon type energy, should I say. So, but anyway, but God's Holy Spirit wants you guys to know to be mindful of, again, listening to people around you. And what I'm hearing is like being fearful or spewing some sort of like maybe hatred in some sort of way. You're going to have to take it how it resonates, because it could be different for everybody else's situation. So I say all that to say that, you know, but basically the rat, not rat. Why do I keep saying rat? Because I actually saw a dead rat one day when I went to go walk my dog, and I don't normally see that, but I also saw a dead bird within that same week too. So that was just spirit just letting me know just the type of energies that's in the air. It's almost like the rat, seeing the dead rat was like, spirit was just like letting me know that was a representation of, you know, those people who were like rats. It's almost like they're being dealt with, you know, rats, molds, you know, people who are, you know, how they call people rats, should I say. But anyways, like their energy has to die. It has to go. So, and I'm not referring to necessarily a physical death. You know, I'm not wishing that upon anybody, but basically that was just spirit just basically saying it. For some people, that may have to be the situation. You know, my heart goes out to them or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, there's the other situations of those people needing to die of the old way of doing things. Anyway, and so the dead bird was a representation of just, you know, rebirth, a restart, a new beginning almost. It's almost like that animal is dying to its old way and it's shape shifting into a new being, should I say. So it's a rebirth of being like reborn again. So be mindful of that too, because I've just seen so many different things that just been kind of taking place between last week and this week. This week, I told you guys in another video, I smelled like this foul smell, like something foul is coming to the surface. I don't know what it is, but I'm just telling you now, some foul stuff is just going to be coming out. I've kind of already seen some things, but there's going to be more stuff to come. But the thing is, just be mindful of to try not to, if it's coming from somebody that you know or somebody that may be around you, try not to be too judgmental of the fact, and try not to allow what they're saying to basically override yourself, but just stay neutral, because this was the other part of the message in a prophetic message as well too. So because I saw that rat, why I keep saying rat? Oh my God, like God must be really revealing rats. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Anyway, so the bat in a dream was a representation of, when you think about hearing people say that bats carry rabies, rabies is a more symbolism of like some sort of infestation, some sort of disease carrying. So don't allow these things to be planted in your subconscious mind or hearing it. So that's why I said before, like, I disconnect myself from the news. I don't know what's going on in the news, you know, unless, you know, the kids kind of just share certain things with me or whatever the case may be. But there used to be times I used to tell my mom, don't tell me about the news because I don't want to hear it, you know. Or sometimes, you know, I know in the past my spouse or whatever, he would always tell me that you need to know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, and that's true. And to some people it may be like, oh my God, like she's going to be caught off guard, you know. No, but God, it's almost like God is my news in a sense, because, you know, like I said the other day when he gave me the message about the red phone. So in other words, like when you just truly trust God, he's just going to have your back. When he sees you making steps, he's going to make more steps to make sure that you're good. So anyway, let me move on. But anyway, the another part of this dream was I talked about, because I kept saying rats, right? You're going to hear information, and don't allow these individuals to plant, don't allow them to plant those bugs in your ear, should I say. So just stay neutral, because in this same dream, it switched scenes, right? Me and the kids walked outside the building after I had basically killed the bat that was infested with some sort of rabies or whatever that was coming at me, coming at me or whatever, but I chose to take it down and or take it out. But anyway, so once me and my kids made it outside, right? So you know the depiction of what Humpty Dumpty looks like sitting on a wall, like that little picture, that little small wall that he sits on. So in a dream, like I have this gray pot that's here in my house, right? And it's kind of like one of them little metal pots. I got it from like the international store, right? And anyway, so no, hold on. No, I'm sorry. I didn't buy that pot. I think my spouse had bought that pot some time ago. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, because he was making this Puerto Rican dish. But anyway, so I have this great pot that's here, right? But nevertheless, this week I had used it because we made some stir-fried rice for like the new year, right? And anyway, so in the dream, God was showing me, like, once me and the kids had made it out of the building from the lobby area, we ended up outside. I saw sitting on a wall, kind of like, imagine a wall that Humpty Dumpty sits on. And I have to give you that image so you understand what I'm talking about. So imagine, like, instead of Humpty Dumpty sitting on a wall, it was actually this great pot sitting up on the wall that we had just used this week. So I was like, okay, Spirit, what are you trying to say? Why are you showing me this pot? Well, this pot it's like a metal pot, but it looks grayish like. But anyway, I say all that to say Spirit had the pot sitting up on the wall instead of like Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall. And most pots, either the pot is going to be sitting on the stove and it's going to be boiling over, or either if it's boiling too much, the water and stuff is going to start lifting up the lid a little bit, kind of, spewing out of the pot. So that's what that was not what was taking place. But because the scenery was outside and it was sitting on a brick wall, and thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Spirit was just saying, just be solid. Just be solid. Solid like that wall. Anyway, so the pot was sitting up on the wall and it was just sitting there. So anyway, at first I wasn't understanding the message, but then Spirit spoke to me, like, once I got in the shower. It's like all the information just came to me at that point. So anyway, so once I saw the pot was just sitting there. And what Spirit had told me as I was in the shower was just say, just be still and be neutral. Be neutral. So whatever you may hear that may come out, whether it be in the news media, whether it may come out within your family dynamic, whether it may come out within your so-called friend group, whether it may come out within your so-called neighbors, whether it may come out within your co-workers or even bosses or even jobs is what I'm hearing as well too. So whatever may come out in regards to these situations, God say just stay neutral. Stay neutral. Just try to stay solid like the brick wall. Be still and try to stay neutral. And more importantly, the pot, or Spirit keeps bringing me back to, the pot was not boiling over. The pot was just standing still. So try to keep your composure. Try to keep a lid on things is what the focus is. Because if a pot is boiling over too much, the lid is going to kind of lift up and stuff. Like I said, it's coming out of the pot. So Spirit is saying, keep your composure as well as keep a lid on things. Try to keep a lid on things. Keep a calm, cool, and collective mind. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Spirit. So the next message that came is skipped scenes in this same dream again. So remember I told you the scene was apartment building. So I get the feeling that this next scene was like two people sharing a space together. And in this space that was being shared, because it made it seem like I was sharing an apartment with somebody else, like a roommate or whatever. And it just so happened that I went down a hallway, which seemed like a very long kind of hallway. It wasn't too long, but it was long for apartment building. And with all that being said, I was heading towards the bathroom, right? So as I was, oh my God, that's so funny. Because I actually know somebody's house who's actually set up like this. It was like a long hallway and the bathroom was like straight ahead. Anyway, so I say all that to say, it's like basically as I was walking towards the bathroom, it seemed like the walls were closing in, getting it was like really hard to get to the bathroom. At one point, it seemed like the walk to the bathroom was fine. But as I started walking, it seemed like I had to kind of go like this to get down the hallway because it really started to narrow in. And I say all that to say, and I was like, okay, Spirit, what are you trying to tell me with that? And it was basically saying, I'm sorry, y'all, we coming up on Mercury retrograde and I feel myself, anyway, excuse me. Anyway, so with all that being said, basically the walls are going to start feeling like they're closing in on some people. So some people may find themselves just feeling like they need to liberate themselves in some sort of way. And it's going to be different for everybody because everybody else, everybody has something different going on, should I say, in their dynamics or their household or whatever it is that they may be dealing with. But all I know is that the walls are going to be feeling like they're going to be closing in, even seeming like they're narrowing in even more, like making people, because I know I kind of felt like a little claustrophobic in the dream, should I say. So be mindful of that. But anyway, if you find yourself seeing that happen, it's almost like the universe is what I'm hearing is just adding added pressure to the situation. Is adding pressure to the situation. Remember, it's almost like the pot, but it's God adding the pressure to the situation in whatever case it may be. Anyway, so let's let's move on to the next one. Okay. Okay, thank you, Spirit. And I also saw in a dream too that somebody I had two separate messages, but I'm gonna just put them all in here. So if you've been in conflict with somebody and you guys have been having some sort of disagreements in some sort of way with somebody else, I feel like spiritually it was being done, but for some people it's actually them trying to have a conversation about thank you, Spirit, maybe about certain things that may have taken place, that may have transpired. Just having a cool, a rational conversation about something. If there was something that you may have dealt with that may have been like a little explosive, a little name calling, a little aggression, not a little, maybe some aggression is what I'm hearing, as well as probably involving the law enforcement. So anyway, I saw some people like having a conversation about their indifferences, should I say. And then this next message was, I saw that someone is like, they're either picking up a new job or they are inquiring about a part-time job. And if they're not doing part-time, then it's obviously 2 full-time jobs or whatever. But I really feel like they're inquiring like being hired on as like a part. So they work a full-time job, but then they also take it on a part-time job as well too. Anyway, so this last message, what came through yesterday morning, this one was really strange, and I'm gonna just let Spirit speak to me as I give this message. So in the dream, like I saw like these 2 people, they were like choir directors, right? But this wasn't a choir, they were like vocal directors. So it wasn't involving the church, but I saw all these people, it may be like about 12 to 18 people. I don't know why it keeps coming up. 12 to 18 people. They was like standing, let's just say if they teach in this class, it was 2 of them in a class, right? A man and it was a woman. And every single person had the microphones in front of them, but the microphones wasn't like microphones today. The microphones looked like the microphones like they might have had on the 5 Heartbeats, if you remember what that microphone looks like, kind of big and rectangle shaped like, and they cuffed it in their hand like this, when he was like, anyway, so those microphones look like that. So it was like different people standing in rows, like 12 to 18 people. And it's like they was in this classroom of everybody was standing in front of the microphone. So I say all that to say, it's almost like Spirit was just bringing to my attention that they're practicing their vocals, should I say, because the leader one of the vocalists, um, one of the vocal teachers, she was a female. She was like the calm, cool, and collect one of the group. And then there was this other man. He was a little bit on the heavy side, but he was a little bit more aggressive, like, no, get it right, but he gave me almost like diva vibes, where she was more calm, cool, and collect. He was more like a diva in a sense, but he was a male. But anyway, not saying that males can't be divas, but that's just how spirit was showing it to me. Anyway, so the woman was calm, cool, and collect, but then the man, when they were like off track, he was like the corrector, should I say. He jumped in there and he was like the aggressor, like, no, you get it right. Whereas the other lady, she was just like, okay, let's try do better, and he was like, no, we're not going to keep doing this, and and so on and so on. So anyway, but I say all that to say, basically, it's almost like, from what I'm getting from that message, was some of you guys, maybe if you have not been really speaking your truth, it's almost like you being taught to speak your truth in a sense. Speak your truth, which again is your throat chakra or whatever. So when we don't speak up and say things that are bothering us, or things that are buried deep down within our hearts, we block our communication, not fully, but just in certain aspects. And what I'm hearing spirit say, it could be situations emotionally, like you don't want to get too involved in your emotions and your feelings. So, 9 times out of 10, some people tend to block that type of communication that's really causing you to have to vocal your actual emotional feelings, should I say, because people don't want to feel that, because they fear for what may comes up after that, and they want to be in control and be able to handle and not feel ungrounded in a process of all these different energies coming up. But I say all that to say, spirit basically showed me again that people are practicing speaking up for themselves in a sense. So that was that interpretation of what that dream meant. So anyway, y'all, let me pull these couple cards real quick, and then I'm about to be out. I myself have been trying to get back on track for like a few days now. Let me just tell you, I've been dealing with some stuff myself. I've been feeling like I got a good night's sleep last night. And it's not the fact that I can't sleep at night, but thank you, Spirit. Oh. It's just that I've been dealing with some stuff as well too. So I say all that to say that if you're not experiencing it just yet, all I'm gonna just tell you is just hold on tight. Hold on tight. That's all I can tell you. When I say hold on tight, I don't mean like I mean just make sure you ground it. More important than anything, I had to wake up and tell myself today is gonna be a better day. And so far it has been. Not only that, but thank you, Spirit. Let me just tell you, the devil is busy. And I try not to give the devil too much credit, because I know before, for those people who know me, I used to always talk about the devil this, the devil that, and how the enemy was here to... Well, I do know that God also orders certain things too to test us. So let me just say that first and foremost. So rather than give the enemy credit, let me just say God is really testing, because he allows the enemy to test us, just like he allowed the enemy to test Jesus, just like he allowed the enemy to test Joseph, just like he allowed the enemy to test David, just like he allowed the enemy to test who was it? Joseph. Just how they allowed the enemy to test Mary. That's how they allowed the enemy to try to test Jesus, by using Judas and all that other stuff. So I say all that to say that we all are going to find ourselves dealing with some sort of test, but mainly and most importantly, it's like, thank you, Spirit, I'm hearing new level, new devil. So I say all that to say that, we're just moving into different energy. So we can't sit where we've been sitting for too long doing what we have been doing. Sometimes God moves us and shifts us to another level that we're learning a lesson there as well too. So it's going to be very important to make sure you get up in the morning and exercise. I mean, really try to exercise, get grounded, work out, lift some weights, do something, go for a jog, whatever. I'm just telling you that these energies are going to get so much more tense, and it's going to be so important to be calm, cool, and collect. Like I said, that gray pot was being neutral and standing firm, kind of unbothered, but also being still at the same time, because you may see other people around you, is what I'm hearing, that may be, off centered, but it's important for you, whoever's listening to this message, it's important for you to try to just make sure you stay grounded. So if you get up in the mornings and you don't work out, you might want to start to. Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective that is a pure white light and pure unconditional love only? Thank you, God, Soul, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective? What do you want them to know in regards to these messages? What message do you have for the collective? So I can just tell you that my schedule has definitely been altered. I know I told you guys before that I was excited about what was coming, because I remember a point in time in my life where I was busy. What did I say? It was back during the time that me and my mom had the actual daycare center that was licensed up to 99 kids. Thank you, Spirit. That was Voyage. That was actually licensed up to 99 kids or whatever. And I was doing this. I was doing that. I was here. I was there, multitasking. So I'm thinking that, okay, it's about to get busy like that in a sense. And it's like, it didn't start off that way. But let me just say, it just got busy. But anyway, I'll put these back because they just actually slipped out my hand. So thank you, Spirit. What other messages? Is there any other messages that you have? Just make it short and sweet, please. Thank you. And I just said that. Spirit said, stand still. And more importantly, practice love in the process. So I say all that to say that, I'm not going to read the cards the book, because right now I'm seeing what the message is. We're being taken on a voyage, and it's up to us of how we navigate this voyage, which is so funny because this morning it was so much snow outside, like walking out of my off my street to go walk my dog. I usually walk her up there near like the little clubhouse. But even up there was like a little pathway that had been cleared on the sidewalk, because even on my development outside, my front door is cleared, but other people have not even shoveled, and I don't care. But nevertheless, I just had to walk in the street with her this morning. So it was slippery. It was icy. But anyway, with all that being said, I walked up to the corner near like the little clubhouse, and I was just watching her walk through the snow, and it looked so beautiful. Like yesterday, I really couldn't even enjoy the snow, and I love the snow. I love the snow. I love the snow. Me and my kids experienced the snow last Monday when we took a little quick road trip. We took a little quick road trip up to not gonna say the location, but anyway, it was snowing on the way, so it was just very beautiful, and I just really enjoyed it because I was just able to sit, and as I'm driving, I'm like, okay, but at the same time, I'm like, Lord, I'm trusting you to get us up here and get us back home safely, right? So anyway, with all that being said, we was driving in the snow, should I say, and it started to pick up really heavy. So yesterday it was really beautiful, but I felt like it was just so much going on. I felt like the enemy was just really busy, that it was really just trying to distract me from shining my light. Let me say that. Thank you, Spirit, from shining my light. And I say all that to say because it was just so many distractions going on. I wanted to record this message or re-record the message. I couldn't. It was just so much stuff going on. But anyway, let me just here to tell you that the enemy will try, or let me say God will try to use people in order to really test you. Let me say that. Really test you. But anyway, it's important to, again, just stay grounded, stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. And, basically it's like God is taking us through initiation, and it's almost like that going through a car wash, like you got the sides that are being scrubbed. They scrub the tires. They scrub underneath the little, what do you call it? The spoiler kit part where, the dust and stuff picks up at near the tire area, and they spray down the tires, and then it goes through the machines. They get brushed, and it gets done this, and it gets done that. And then the little thing goes up over top of it and clean up all the debris. And then next, the vacuum cleaner comes down and dries some of the stuff away. So I say all that to say it's almost like going through a car wash, because as I was walking my dog this morning, I watched her as she was navigating. She pulled up onto the sidewalk where I was going to walk her in the street. She was trying to find a place to go, and she couldn't because all the grass was covered. So I say all that to say I watched her as she was navigating through the snow, the snow on the sidewalk. And Spirit was just like, this is what people are going to find themselves dealing with, trying to navigate through, going here, just like, going like this. So it's so important to just make sure that you're being centered. So again, if you don't work out, work out. If you don't eat right, try to eat right, because that's going to be so important as well too. That's going to play a contributing factor as well. So anyway, just know that we're going on this voyage, and it's going to be different for all of us. And some things I'm hearing Spirit say that there will be some things that will be the same for all of us as well too. So keep that in his mind. Keep that in mind. But more importantly, and to me, this big whale right here is a representation of just God. So Spirit is just leading us and guiding us. And this is us right here, where we're being taken on that voyage. But just know that we are being divinely protected. Anyway, so, and as I said before, it was just saying stand still, because the enemy will try to come and just try to test you and see whether the enemy can move you or not. You know, even when God told you to stand still, stay calm, stay cool, and collect. And there may be times that, you know, you may slip, or there may be times that you remind yourself, oh, okay, I heard this. This is what I need to do in the process. So just remind yourself if you have to speak to yourself. When I tell you, I got so many freaking Post-it notes on my bathroom mirror that I have to talk to myself each and every day, you know, as a way to remind myself, that helps me to stay grounded. I do that. So if you need to do that, do that. It's going to be different for everybody. That's just how I have to do things anyway. But more importantly, stay in your heart place. Stay in your heart place. Whatever it is that you may be experiencing, whatever it is that you may be seeing that may be taking place, God wants you to stay in your heart space. Because remember, I said, actually, you don't know I said it, but in the other video that I had to take down and delete, basically, thank you, Spirit, for reminding me. Basically, in the other video, it was like we're being tested to get out of our minds, because that rabies bat that was flying around my head was just trying to plant that nest in the ear. And again, rabies represents, you know, festation. I don't know why I keep wanting to say manifestation. It represents, well, I mean, it kind of can. If you allow negative thoughts to come in, you can manifest those. Excuse me. But it's up to you to not allow the disease to seep in and take control of your mind, should I say. Anyway, so, and at the bottom of the deck is funny, because I was getting ready to pull this other card. It says inner peace. Just stay centered with inner peace. All right, I'm going to pull these last decks, and this is the Oracle Angels decks, and then I'm out. Thank you, God, Soul, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective? What's the overall message you want them to know about love, standing still, and voyage? What do you want them to know? What is the overall message, please? That is a pure white light and pure unconditional love only. That is a pure white light and pure unconditional love only. And yes, y'all, I'm trying to find my center, because even right now, it's like early in the morning still. And I was up since 5, should I say, doing all the stuff that I need to do. I normally don't work out for about an hour, but lately I've been finding myself working out for about an hour now. You know, it's not even just about pumping weights. It's about stretching, doing some yoga. Yoga helps keep you grounded. It helps strengthen your core. It helps strengthen you. It helps to ground you. And more importantly, it helps you to focus. Thank you, Spirit. What message do you have for the collective? Thank you, Spirit. Crystal clear intentions. It says, Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So whatever it is, focus on it with unwavering faith. And then it says, clear your space, Archangel Japhiel. Get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. All right, Spirit. Is that all the messages? Thank you, Spirit. And then it says gentleness. Archangel Sandalphon, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So be mindful of that, y'all. That goes for me as well, too. Be mindful of the people that you're letting in. You know what to do. And it says, Archangel Uriel, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. And then the last one, it says leadership. Archangel Gabriel, it's time for you to assume your leader power and position and lovingly guide others. So it's going to be different for everybody in every different situation. And at the bottom of this deck, it says gifts from God. So when we act and do upon what it is that God is asking us to do, to clear, make clear intentions, to clear our space out and be gentle with ourselves, and you know what to do, as well as fall into the leadership, because when we do, others will follow. And just know that there's a gift behind that as well in the process. It says, Archangel send off, and we angels bring you the gift from Creator. Open your arms to receive it. The choice is yours. Anyway, with all that being said, I wish you all much love, much light. And I say peace and blessings. And I say, remember to always keep God first and foremost in your heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Anyway, stay blessed. Bye.